Hello, everyone. I just came across this gem of an article. Looks like it was actually just published this morning at 3 in the morning by Nora Noddington. Naughty Nora here. Staying up late, getting stuff done at the last minute. Anyway, it caught my eye because it's yet another ridiculous headline, another example of FUD pushed by mainstream analysts or automotive insiders or whoever these people are who are desperately trying to justify their jobs. Anyway, the article here by Insider is called, quote, "The Cinderella ride is over for Tesla. How Elon Musk turned his crown jewel into an overpriced jalopy." So when this stuff catches my eye, obviously it's clickbait. It's someone trying to get clicks on their article. It's probably a worthless article, but okay. Let's try and reserve judgment a little bit and find out, right? Let's see if I'm wrong. So, great graphics there. I mean, I do some really terrible graphics on my videos because I'm new at it and pretty much suck, but my lord, even I can do better than that. Oh, maybe that's debatable, but wow, that's really weird. That's just sad. It says the caption at the bottom of this photo, by the way, says Tesla spent the past 2 decades, it's not quite accurate, defying expectations and disrupting the automotive industry, but now it's starting to fall behind the rest of the auto industry. That's lazy writing, by the way, whenever you repeat a phrase. It's not salient. It doesn't have a good mouthfeel when you repeat the same phrasing at the ends of your phrases or sentences. Anyway, here we go. Mark has been driving a Tesla since 2014. But after almost a decade of loyalty to Elon Musk's electric car company, his faith is starting to fade. I mean, right off the bat, it's not good writing, alright? These are very trite comments. Quote, "I feel stupid driving around with my brand new Tesla Model Y," Mark told me. In 2022, Musk raised the prices of Tesla's 4 models, citing rising supply costs and updates to its driver assist system. So when Mark was able to secure a year-end rebate to cut the cost of his new Model Y to $58,000 from $65,000, he thought he was getting a rare deal. But on January 13th, just over 2 weeks after his new car was delivered, Tesla announced it would slash the price of the Model Y to $53,000, a $13,000 drop. Yeah, Tesla changes its prices all the time in order to curb the demand because they cannot produce these vehicles fast enough, and they sell every single vehicle they make. So when customers are having to wait 3 months, 6 months for delivery, that's, as we say in California, no bueno. So for this writer to present this as some kind of issue. In fact, this is how she opens up the article. She introduces these notions that Tesla is starting to fall behind the auto industry, and right out of the gate, her example is that they changed their price. Wow. That's pretty ridiculous, and I'm assuming she's going to make no mention at all of the context around that. But whatever, okay. The sweeping price cuts sent a shockwave through the Tesla owner community. That's a bit dramatic. The value of their brand new Teslas dropped by as much as 20% overnight. I mean, are you planning on buying it and selling it the next day? That's kind of ridiculous. Fans who'd stuck with Musk through quote unquote production hell, several federal investigations, and instances of steering wheels literally falling off had reached their limit. Yeah, more histrionics to try and paint this a certain way. Cherry picking at its best. Mark's message for Tesla's CEO was straightforward. Elon, please help us and do something. My lord, how much more can this man do? He's already dedicated his entire life to improving everything about our world. But do more, Elon, while we do nothing. Tesla spent the past 2 decades defying expectations and disrupting the automotive industry. But in 2023, the once revolutionary car company did the seemingly unthinkable. It turned fanboys against it. Well, that's not true. It took people who were probably already predisposed to being whingy and made them uproar, I suppose. But again, this is cherry picking. The uproar among loyalists like Mark, who are typically also Tesla shareholders, is more than complaints from overly attached enthusiasts. It's a sign that a company that has for so long relied on a near mythic reputation as a futuristic automaker may be losing its edge. That sentence. It's a bit wieldy. Anyway, Tesla is turning from a young and scrappy industry disruptor into a company that looks more like the automakers it used to rattle. From whose point of view? What in the world are you talking about? It does not look anything like the other automakers, except by people who don't know better. And the company's once grandiose leader, who showed up in Iron Man movies and promised to take us to Mars, is looking more human by the day. See, comments like that are just vapid. They're meaningless. Tesla has only ever existed without real competition and in a favorable economic environment. Okay, that's complete garbage too. Tesla has always had real competition. It's competing against the legacy automakers. There's a reason why every single electric car company startup over the last 50 years has failed. Hundreds of them, literally hundreds, have failed because it is a hyper-competitive market. So to say that they exist without real competition, I mean, the only way you could even stretch that truth is to say that there's no real electric vehicle competition, which is mostly true, but now the market of electric vehicles is anyone's game. And Musk is about to find out how hard it can be to go to war with some of the world's most recognizable brands. I mean, these are just such boring, contrived sentences. This is a work of someone who does not love their job. This is the work of someone who's just trying to pound out an article so they can meet a deadline. This is someone who does not enjoy their job and is currently complaining a lot about it. So that's kind of where it is. Going back to the article though, let's finish it. Losing the edge. Tesla's calling card since its launch in 2003 has been technology. The company has been at the forefront of the EV revolution, delivering the first battery with a range that could rival a gas-powered car, and the first widespread charging infrastructure with the supercharger network. Tesla also led the way on innovations like over-the-air software updates, giant in-car touchscreens, and keyless vehicle entry. But after years of rocketing ahead of legacy car companies' tech, the futuristic guts of Tesla's vehicles have started to go stale. Again, more boring, contrived, hackneyed phrases. It's just nonsensical anyway. The futuristic guts of Tesla's vehicles have started to go stale. First of all, you're kind of mixing your metaphors there, but it's also not true. Tesla is creating a gap that is growing exponentially. Their moat is unassailable at this point. But okay, moving on. The average electric car from automakers like GM, Ford, and Hyundai now has the range to rival Tesla. The iPad-like touchscreen is now standard in new vehicles. Other car companies are even catching up on software, directing billions of dollars to new Tesla fighting features like hands-free driving and batteries built for performance. What a load of garbage is this? First of all, you can't just buy your way into it. They're not going to have the billions of dollars to do so, and it doesn't work that way. You have to spend a lot of time in the trenches developing software and learning from your errors and growing and getting over that learning curve, etc. You can't just buy your way into it. And what do you mean Tesla fighting features like hands-free driving? Like, Tesla already has that. It's FSD beta. Like, come on, man. But perhaps the most glaring example of Tesla's now humdrum innovation is its position in the world of self-driving technology. Oh my goodness, here we go. Okay. What genius insight is Nora Noddington going to provide us? Let's see. Musk has, for years, promised to deliver completely driverless Teslas, saying last year that his electric car company would be, quote, worth basically zero if it didn't prioritize self-driving technology. Tesla was quick to develop a level 2 hands-free driving system. A level 2 hands-free driving system in which a driver doesn't need to touch the steering wheel but needs to remain attentive to the road. But competitors like GM and Ford have already introduced similar hands-free driving systems. Yeah, well, you know, the iPhone and the BlackBerry were also similar, weren't they? Similar. And have managed to do so without getting mired in federal investigations. Perhaps the final nail in the coffin, oh Jesus, come on, these hackneyed phrases, it's such boring writing. Like, get Grammarly or something at least to assist you. This is such boring drivel. Perhaps the final nail in the coffin of Musk's automation ambition came in early February when Mercedes-Benz received the first ever certification for level 3 driving automation, designed to require human intervention only in severe conditions. This person obviously knows absolutely nothing about Tesla's software system. But okay, Mercedes lapping Tesla on level 3, lapping? That's hilarious. Laughing I'm laughing is what I'm doing. Mercedes lapping Tesla on, and she tries to use all these car metaphors like it's clever. You know, rocketing ahead and lapping, etc. Like, oh my goodness. Mercedes lapping Tesla on level 3 autonomy was followed swiftly by another setback. Tesla recalled, oh, here we go again. Here's the freaking recall bullshit. Tesla recalled more than 362,000 of its vehicles over concerns the latest full self-driving software could increase the risk of crashes. Wow. Yeah, it wasn't even a recall. It was an over-the-air software update. Car companies have fought to one-up each other over the latest technology since the days of cassette tape radio systems and anti-lock braking. This is painful to read, you guys. Tesla set the bar high enough that it's taken a little longer for competitors to catch up. They're not going to catch up, folks. It's game over already. Legacy automakers are the walking dead. They just don't know it yet. But now the dinosaurs of the auto industry are starting to lap their upstart counterpart. Yeah, in the same way that a giant bronchiosaurus laps a velociraptor. It doesn't. Competition is starting to eat into Tesla's market share. If you're a consumer, it's great news. There are a lot of really great electric cars to choose from out there. No, there aren't. There aren't a lot of great electric cars to choose from out there. And thinking that Tesla's market share is getting eaten up shows a profound ignorance on how disruptive technologies work. Still, French said, that doesn't mean all is lost for the industry disruptor. Oh, please tell us the good news, Mr. Expert. Tesla has kept its edge on timely over-the-air updates, meaning that even if people aren't coming in to upgrade their vehicle for one with new hardware, Tesla can still squeeze revenue out of its customers. You like that, the way it's portrayed? Like they're squeezing revenue, like they don't care about you? There's nobody else out there at the moment that can deliver a car and then 3 months later charge $11,000 for a package on their vehicle, French said. Yeah, actually anybody out there can try and do that, but it won't work with anybody else because nobody else has the absolute gangster level software that Tesla has. No other car company has software that anybody would want to pay for. Anyway, Tesla's tech problems don't just end with the interior. Its cars' exteriors also leave a lot to be desired. Since the release of the Model S in 2012, Tesla hasn't fully redesigned any of its vehicles. Its most popular cars, the S and the 3, are both sedans. The 3 is not its most popular car. The Model Y is its most popular car. A body style the rest of the industry left in the dust some 5 years ago. Right, so, in order to be a successful and disruptive company, you have to go out on a limb and do things a bit differently, don't you? And so this kind of language of saying things like the rest of the industry left it in the dust is implying that Tesla doesn't know what they're doing. The rest of the industry does. Tesla's this bold upstart who doesn't, they may have had a good start, but they don't really know what they're doing. And they're so ignorant and unaware of body design, etc., etc. It's like the way it's portrayed in general is just very, very negative. And it's designed that way on purpose. It just would have been great if she could have done it in a way that was interesting rather than trite. And by the time the Cybertruck hits the market, though it was announced in 2019, it's finally supposed to start production at the end of this year. Creating an amazingly engineered vehicle does take time, doesn't it? How dare they spend time developing that? The electric pickup truck market will be well established with models from the likes of GM, Rivian, and Ford, whose F-Series pickup trucks have been the top-selling vehicles in the U.S. since the Reagan administration. Yeah, well, for now, right? And I wish Ford all the best. Ford has, amongst the other legacy automakers, probably one of the best chances of succeeding, and they have done pretty decently with their electric vehicles so far. I wish Rivian the best as well, though they are in production hell and might not survive it. And GM, well, wow, yeah, GM will probably be bankrupt by the end of the decade. I love people who are outside of the industry or outside of the business, always acting like they know what's best for Tesla. That this is how Tesla should do things. Like, you know what? Let Elon and let Tesla. They've obviously figured it out. So thanks for the unsolicited advice on how they should be conducting their business. That's so ridiculous. When you sell 300,000 of the same vehicles every year and then they're all parked together in a grocery store parking lot, those customers suddenly want something to set them apart from their neighbors. As if that wasn't enough, Tesla's losing its grip on the novelty of the way it sells cars. The company decided from the start to eschew the dealership model and sell its cars directly to customers, giving Tesla more control over pricing and therefore an edge over its legacy competitors on profit per vehicle. But competitors are finding a way to keep their dealers, long protected by the intricate web of franchise laws in the US, and beat Tesla at its own game. No, they're not. Companies like Ford and Audi are changing their sales strategies to model Tesla's innovative direct sales style. These companies have something Musk doesn't: nationwide networks of brick-and-mortar locations where customers can have their vehicles serviced and repaired. Yeah, Tesla does have repair service stations. They have repair centers, so I'm not sure where this is even coming from. The dealership model is outdated, and RIP is all I have to say about that. Tesla's service network is still fairly thin. Well, you know what? The cars also don't break down nearly as much. You don't need as many. This is giving established companies the opportunity to take lucrative business from Tesla and look deep inside its cars through repairs. What does that even mean? GM's president, Mark Roos, recently told investors that its dealers started repairing Teslas in 2021. GM has multiple dealerships in all 50 states, compared to Tesla, which doesn't have a store in 15 states. Oh my god, this is a person who's growing tired of writing this article and just trying to end the self-torture so they can publish it and move on and meet their deadline. It's a new business, which is great, Bruce said with a laugh. Like, they're gonna get all of Tesla's business now? Yeah, keep dreaming. While Elon keeps Eloning, Tesla is getting beat. One of the clear signs that a car maker is facing serious issues is oversupply. But cracks began to show in late 2021 when Tesla signed a deal to supply the car rental giant Hertz with 100,000 vehicles. While EV boosters and Tesla bulls lauded the move, days later Tesla's market cap reached $1 trillion. Others in the industry wondered whether the deal was a sign that Tesla had an overbuilding problem. What? Are you kidding me? We're seeing Tesla fall into these traps all the automakers go down eventually. Yeah, as if they're sitting on the sidelines spouting their wisdom here and poo-pooing Tesla and behaving like they know better like they always do. My goodness, what garbage FUD. We're seeing Tesla fall into these same traps that all the automakers go down eventually, and that it already started with the rental sales, said Ivan Drury, who lives on Drury Lane, an automotive analyst for the car shopping site Edmunds. He said this in an interview with Insider in December. Quote, "That's a pretty traditional means of moving metal." This article, I don't know if I can finish. This is getting painful to read. Let's see what we have left here. More garbage about him, losing focus, obsessing with the takeover of Twitter. God forbid he care about free speech and have the ability to actually do something about it. This short-term noise has nothing to do with the long-term outlook of the company. This is just complete garbage. More garbage, more garbage. I'm not going to finish this article. It's painful. It was bad to begin with, and it just kept getting worse. I mean, I've read a lot of bad articles out there in general in a lot of fields, and I've read a lot of poo-flinging at Tesla by the many genius simians in our society, but this one is one of the worst. The company's new position has left other industry analysts concerned. Oh no! Here we go. The Cinderella ride is over for Tesla. Yeah, I'm super not interested in your ridiculous, uninformed opinion. This is just casting aspersions where they should not be cast. It has nothing to do with Tesla's long-term growth. It doesn't change anything about the Tesla story. Let's see what the clincher is here. Let's see the final damning paragraph. The calm, collected Musk helped stem the year-long collapse of Tesla's stock, but the company's existential problems remain. No, it's just your misperception is what remains. They don't have existential problems at all. Other companies do, they do not. The startup is getting beat. Musk's legacy competitors are right at his heels. Yeah, no, they can't even be seen with a telescope. So, yeah, this was a really disappointing article. It was so ridiculous I had to call it out and go over it because this just was such a load of rubbish. So, good luck with your Business Insider job. They're probably going to let you go.